All right, hey, beautiful people, I'm back. So I want to finish up my story. I hope you guys are following me. Like I said, I'm not doing this to get no glory, but maybe I can help somebody understand, the importance of waiting on God when we're entering into a relationship. You understand me? Let Him give it to us, because we can't go wrong with that. But I want you to understand my story, and the story is about how I met my husband while I was with my ex-husband. And I'm not glorifying sin. God has no part in sin, but I do want to share my story. All right, so this is part 3. If you didn't see part 1 and 2, you better go back, catch up. So it was October 6th, never forget it. And he had, like I say, we hadn't been getting along. We had been in counseling by now. And like I was used to him answering whenever he wanted to answer, talking to me whenever he felt like talking to me. And usually when he talked to me, it was centered around him having to go grocery shopping or something like that, at my expense. But okay. So it was October 6th. I got up that morning, and I know on part 2 I said that he had taken down the wedding photos. Well, he had been taking down the wedding photos, but I put up such a fuss, so he put up a picture of me and him together, an old picture of me and him together. But the wedding pictures, they didn't last long. Anyway, so I went on, and I noticed his profile picture had changed from a picture of me and him. And when I looked at the picture, it said, falling in love unexpectedly, something to those effect, is a beautiful thing. Well, I knew he wasn't falling in love with me. He didn't even like me at this point. He wasn't being nice. He wasn't going out of his way to even try and be nice to me. It was like a hurtful, just this hurtful type feeling. So when I saw that, I started calling his phone. He never answered. He didn't answer. It took a while before he finally answered me. Then I said, well, who you falling in love with? Oh, what did I say that for? Just that simple question, baby. World War III broke out. And we just was like back and forth. And I was like, well, you're not, I'm all emotional and crying and going, oh, well, I know you're not falling in love with me because, you haven't been treating me right. We don't even get along, this, that, and the other. It was just a whole bunch of stuff. So he was telling me, I asked him, I said, are you going to come to visit me in the U.S.? Because we were supposed to be working on the paperwork for him to come in that December. He said to me, no, I'm not coming. He said, and to be honest with you, I was just going to wait until you got the paperwork in hand, and I was going to tell you I don't want to come. I'll send the boys to stay to be with you for the holidays. And I'm looking like, I'm not going to be the babysitter for you to do what you want to do. That's not going to happen. But when he said those words to me, it stuck like a knife. It felt, I don't know if anybody ever felt that kind of hurt or that kind of pain or betrayal, especially from somebody that's supposed to love you, somebody that you're married to, So when he said that to me, I say, so what you trying to tell me is that you was using me for the paperwork? Oh, no, nothing like that. See, that's all. Oh, he just went in. And when I said to him I wasn't going to be the babysitter, oh, see, it's never about the kids. It's always about you. But those are your kids. Those are not my kids. Those are your kids. So it went from there. It's like all day argument, all day. He was doing laundry. Oh, he didn't want to talk to me. He got to go do his laundry. But you're doing laundry at home. You can wait. That can wait. If you want your marriage. So this man just like had this thing like I was going to chase him. Like I wanted him so bad that I couldn't live without him. So he hung up the phone on me a couple of times. My mom tried calling him. Just like nobody wanted to see me hurt because they know I didn't deserve it. Well, I called my friend and he said, come get me. And I was like, no, where you gonna go? You can't come here. You can't live in our house. Come stay in our house. That won't look right. We can't do that. He say, come get me. And I was like, I can't come get you. But this man stayed on the phone with me, like literally all day. And whenever I got, like after a couple hours, when I got a little strength and I want to call this one back, I was like, let me call you back. And he was like, okay, call me back. I'll call this one, call this one, call this one. He don't answer my calls. He won't talk to me. He was busy. He had this to do. He had that to do. He had so much other stuff to do other than talk to your newlywed wife who you are about to lose. So I cried. I called this one back. And the next day was a festival, and I was going to sell my bags at the festival. So, I have my KGYP bags that I designed. So y'all look at that too. But yeah, and I was going to be at the festival. And I just knew my stomach was hurting me, hair hurting me. I just wanted to get in my bed, crawl up in the fetal position, and just die. Really, that's how I felt. I was embarrassed. I had these people fly all the way to Jamaica from different countries just to be for this wedding, this bogus wedding. And here it was at the end, not even 2 months later, which it ended after those 4 days. Really, I just was holding on. So I told my friend, I said, I'll come and pick you up. So that gave me a little, like I was going to have somebody there I could talk to or whatever. So the next morning I went and picked him up, and he came to the festival with me. And when I tell you he helped me, I was praying with people. He stood as a covering for me. He was just there. He never tried to push up on me. He was like, he understood the assignment. He understood that at that very moment, I needed a friend. I did not need somebody who wanted to make it a relationship or lay up with me. He wanted more than that. He made it clear, but he also said, in your timing, and even if you never want me, I'm content with being your friend. So we were at the festival together. We had a good time, and his living arrangements, he needed to switch up, and he couldn't come live with me. So I had a friend who, she was like, oh, well, he can come stay in my house. And I was like, for real? And she was like, oh, yeah, why not? So when I told him that, he was like, oh, okay. Just give me a couple of days, to get myself situated where I'm at. So anyway, long story short, we spent the whole day. We enjoyed ourselves. That was his first time being at a festival like that. And we just had a good time that day. And mind you, Mr. Man wasn't calling me to check on me. He didn't care that we had left off on a bad note. He didn't know where his marriage stood. He just did not care. And even though I had my friend there, being there for me, loving me through this, just supporting me, I wanted my marriage to work. You don't get married to just get a divorce. I don't know too many people that just sign up. I'm going to get married today and be divorced the next month or next month or two. Don't know nobody like that. But again, my friend was there for me. So I took him back home. I paid him for helping me, that day. And he tried to not take payment, but you spend a whole day with me. I'm going to pay you, and I don't want you to think that it's nothing more than us being friends. So we, I took him back home, and like I said, I lived like an hour and something away from him, so I had to drive back by myself. So there goes that old feeling of pain, stomach hurting, feeling sick, headache. Don't know how I'm going to tell everybody that, once again, I'm in another failed marriage. Once again, I chased after somebody who ain't want me. Once again, I love somebody who didn't love me back. I'm being as open and as transparent with you guys as I can. I know many of you have formed your own opinions about me anyway. You done talked about how many times I got married. You done talked about how these men don't want me, how I'm just chasing these men or whatever. But I don't know about you. But I've been in that place where I wanted to be loved. Maybe you never wanted to be loved before. Or maybe you'll never share it. But yeah, I was hurt. I drove home crying in tears, and he was trying to talk to me, to ride or whatever. But I just needed that time just to cry and let it all out. And it was hurtful just to know that even though I got this friend here,